Drum roll on the world's largest drum, please. Drew Brees is coming back.
And how about John Octius's baptizing the masses dunk just a couple seasons ago? Or we could go all the way back to 1985. Looky here, I got a chair. 81 years ago, the original Loeb Stadium was built. Home plate was in dead center field by the 414 marker. It's a new era on South Street. Purdue head coach Matt Painter gets asked these two questions a lot. Can you get past the Sweet 16? Can you get past the Elite Eight? Painter's answer is the same every single time. You have to get to the tournament first.
Let me save you time doing the math. I took this from our business admins department. That's 1.15 points per possession. But tonight, that offense and the efficiency, both missing.
The theme for tonight's game is hammer down cancer. But when it comes to the Purdue football team season as a whole, the motto is only the strong break through. And each Lady Bison basketball player has spray painted gold shoes underneath their chair. And Sasha Stefanovic has tested positive for COVID-19, and he will miss at least the next 3 games, including tonight's showdown against the Wolverines. Even Bob Knight returned to Assembly Hall. Now we're about an hour away from tip, and normally we shoot these live shots inside Assembly Hall. We are not allowed to do so this year. I traded a text with Isaac's mom just about a minute ago. Rachel Coleman-Haas telling me they are meeting with the doctors as they speak. They're already getting this venue ready to go for that game, and it's probably a good thing for Purdue fans considering what happened here today. Purdue legend Gene Cady was in the hallway with me, and I overheard him on the phone say, "I'm doing bad, Purdue lost." And that kind of sums up the day. Tom Schott spent a lot of time in his basement office last winter typing.
And one day it's Rick Mount, and the next day it's Katie Douglas, and then it's Joe Tiller, and then it's Brees Morales.
Holy Toledo! Schott also spent a lot of time hammering down the Purdue athletics archives.
Research it's one of my passions.
Saving the day for Purdue.
The research and writing was for his new book, 100 Things Purdue Fans Should Know and Do Before They Die.
It's an easy read, but it's hard to put down.
The book is a compilation of the greatest Purdue vignettes.
And national champion.
Former Lafayette Journal and Courier sports writer Nathan Baird started the project, but he was unable to finish after accepting a new job. That's when Schott dove in.
It took about 5 minutes to say yes.
5 minutes turned into 3 months.
You think you remember every detail, then you realize, oh yeah, that did happen that way, or that's not exactly how I remembered it. I'm glad I double checked.
The experience tested Schott's memory. It challenged his decision making.
There were some tough calls to make. It'd be easy to do another 100 if we ever get that opportunity down the road.
And it was nostalgic.
Joe Tiller ranks as one of the most beloved and popular figures in Purdue athletics history. He was everybody's friend. He was the guy next door. You can borrow all the cliches that you want, but he was that. I mean, he was just a down-to-earth, no ego, who happened to win a lot of football games.
Tiller's legacy, one of 100 things Purdue fans should know.
If you're a Purdue fan, it's a no-brainer.
And do before they die. There's a saying, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards.
She deserves to live a normal life. It's not fair. Life's not fair.
Life was never all that fair for opponents of Isaac Haas on the basketball court. Haas's 7'2" frame no match for the battle his 17-year-old sister Erin fights every day. And has for her entire life.
It's not a disease.
Epilepsy, a disorder 1 in 26 Americans develops at some point in a lifetime. In Erin's case, surgery and medication can't block the seizures.
Something surprises her, just out of nowhere. She'll just have a quick, her whole body will jerk, and then it's almost like a head rush. And it's the scariest crap I've ever seen. I can't lie to you. It's scary.
Growing up in rural Alabama, the siblings both stood out. Isaac for his height and athletic ability, Erin for her stitches, bruises, and broken bones.
My 8th grade year, someone made fun of her. Said that she needed a shot collar. Did she need a shot collar for her seizures? And broke his nose. that was just one quick punch, and that was over with.
But nowadays, for the times Big Brother is not there, a furry friend.
It can sense her anxiety And that is a huge thing in terms of her epilepsy.
This past May, the Haas family started a GoFundMe page, hoping to raise enough money to cover the cost of a seizure assistance dog for Erin. The Haas family knew the goal was $20,000. What they didn't know is where it would come from.
I remember we were in the NBA Top 100 camp.
Yeah, he was huge. I mean, he was like, I don't know how tall he is now. He's like, what, 7'2", 7'3"? Yeah, he just was the biggest dude there. He stood out.
And we got to know each other pretty well, and we talked throughout the camp, and then our moms got really connected.
That connection eventually led to a big assist.
Nice pass inside.
From Indiana Pacers star Miles Turner.
And my mom presented it to me, and I said, yeah, of course.
A $500 assist.
Turner.
A very good read.
Not on the hardwood. Instead, a $500 donation to Erin's fund.
You never know what kind of difference you can make in someone's life.
The assist, however, also coming from hundreds of others.
I was thinking, okay, maybe a month, maybe two. I mean, in 2 days, it's unbelievable.
Some $22,000 later, meet Nick. Erin will never live independently. She'll never drive, but she will never be alone. What is the master plan with your sister?
You just kind of devote yourself to this idea of, I'm going to provide for her. You don't really think about the details of it. I guess I'll just make sure to put her in a house, her own house. Hopefully she'll have met somebody that can take care of her. And if not then she can live on her own. She'll have a dog. She'll have whatever she needs. She'll never have to worry.
Life can only be understood backwards. And while we may never understand why things are the way they are, we can borrow a page from Erin and live forward.
Brushing my teeth in the morning takes me 2 minutes. I'm appreciative of that. I'm appreciative of the fact that it only takes me about 3-4 minutes to eat breakfast. Everyday functions, man, we take them for granted. I don't anymore. I don't.
On a typical summer day in McHenry, Illinois, Zach Silk is on a golf course.
Ooh, I wish he'd catch one straight.
But long before Silk began working as a caddy at McHenry Country Club, the 17-year-old found himself on a much different looking course.
We're gonna fight right through the foe.
It was a wild ride. It was definitely a difficult time for me and my siblings. We went through a lot of struggles.
Those struggles began when Silk's parents divorced. He was just a toddler.
My mother, obviously, she physically abused us when we were children. She was out of my life, and that was the reason. My father was always at work. He was spending a lot of time trying to support the family. He could only do so much. He fell into alcoholism. It was a really hard time to grow up in that.
The youngest of 3 children, Silk vividly recalls his father's absence.
It was really heartbreaking to not have someone there for me. I remember nights where we would get locked out and my father wouldn't be there to come let us back in. We would sit outside for hours until he came home.
After Silk's father was jailed for a shooting incident, Silk found himself bouncing in between 3 different foster homes. It wasn't until he was 12 when he settled in with his current foster parents, Bridget and Jason Sturworth.
They provided a home.
And much more.
Whether I'm stressing about a paper or I don't have enough money to cover something for my car, they're always there for me no matter what.
Shortly after moving in with Bridget and Jason, friends introduced Silk to caddying.
I came in, did the training, I passed my test. It just kind of progressed from there. It's the same distance. I just kept doing it because it was always an outlet for me. I could always come here and let go of whatever else was hanging down on me in my life.
I had 189 to the center.
When he first came, he was kind of trying to find something he could call his own, not in his brother's, sister's footsteps. He kind of followed a friend at school and went into being a caddy, and it was his place. It was his way of carving his own little place in the world.
Zachary Thomas Silk.
Silk carved his own place in the classroom and as a caddy. He was awarded an $80,000 scholarship to attend Purdue this fall.
That scholarship was what I had been hoping for my whole life. I wanted to go to college. I knew I didn't have the money for it. What the Western Golf Association has offered me only can be described as a message from God.
It's pretty amazing. It really is. You know,
You'll have more student debt than him.
Yeah, that's true. I'll have more debt than he will.
Silk is one of 910 caddies attending 19 universities with free tuition and housing on a Chick Evans scholarship from the Western Golf Association.
I was shocked that he was getting this opportunity, but at the same time, I was glad that other people could see the kind of person that Zach is, and they could see a lot of the opportunities that he should get a chance to take advantage of. He's an amazing kid.
After everything Silk has endured, he's not hiding from his scars.
I believe that you are who you are. My past defines who I am only because I've learned from what happened to me. This situation that I've been in has helped me tremendously in dealing with a lot of stress and progressing in my life, because I've been able to handle that burden. Why can't I tackle any other burden?